I'm talking with Spencer McLeod of McLeod Farms in McBee, South Carolina, and we are in something that's really exciting for a lot of people in South Carolina, and that's a corn maze. Spencer, when did y'all start doing corn mazes up here?
We've been doing corn mazes for over 10 years now.
Now, I want you to tell me about the first time you did one and how you cut it out.
So we've come a long way since we started doing corn mazes. The first time we planted the corn, and we didn't have a way to necessarily see it while we cut it. So we took an old fire truck and we raised the ladder up, and we had someone in the top, and we were mowing around. We ended up making a pretty good maze, but it was pretty crude at the time.
So you start out by planting the whole area with corn?
That's right. You actually plant it two ways. So normally you plant one way.
Yeah, like in a field.
In a field. But if you left it that way, you could see down the rows.
Oh.
So we cross with another pass, and so we make a hash with the corn.
That's so people like me can really get lost.
That's right.
And then now, though, you have a person who's an expert who I think travels around. Explain how you work with this gentleman, what y'all do.
So now, with the corn maze being much bigger now, we hire someone to come out here. We work with them to make a design. He actually has an artist that renders this image, and then he makes a GPS file and takes a small skid steer and cuts it out with GPS.
Now, I don't know what a small skid steer is, so tell me what that is.
So that's like a bobcat, you know, that you see on a construction site.
Oh.
And he puts a rotary tiller on the front of it, and so he's cutting that maze about when the corn's about 10 inches tall.
And then the residue is being incorporated in the ground, so all you see is this beautiful white McBee sand.
That's right. That's right.
And this year you have a really fun theme. How did that come about?
We do. This year's theme is Amazers. So we have a superhero theme, and we're actually working with a local children's hospital in Florence, South Carolina, and our proceeds, half of our proceeds are going to go to that charity and supporting that hospital. And so, you know, we kind of went with the Amazers with the children and the doctors and all the support staff, that it's an amazing thing, and it, of course, a maze. We're here in one right now, so it's a neat thing for this year.
It really is tremendous fun and going for a great purpose, and it's a fun family event.
It is.
You have little designs and kiosks where people can go to get tips about left or right, I believe. So let's talk a tiny bit about that, since I'm always getting lost.
So we have a map that participants can use if they want one or not, and that map will help guide them through. And as they go through the maze, they'll come across questions, and if they answer right, the answer will lead them in the correct direction. And if they don't answer right, then they'll be going down the wrong path. But you know, we'll test your trivia on superheroes. We'll actually have two mazes.
Oh.
So we have one side of the maze, which is the superhero side, and the other side, which is the villain side.
Oh.
And each one has questions relating to superheroes or villains.
How long does it take most people to navigate one direction?
If you're really good, you know, you can get through one maze in about 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
But typically most people, they meander around and they don't run through it, so it can take up to an hour.
And you can do both ways once you're here.
That's right.
And do you bring people out on a truck? Is it kind of a fun little ride?
So our corn maze is a little bit away from our store, and so you get to hop on a wagon. We'll take you down to the corn maze, go by the pumpkin patch, and hop out and get to go through our maze. And
then also get taken back.
That's right.
Okay.
We won't make you walk.
And if anybody really gets lost, they can just stand here and holler and you'll come and get them.
That's right. That's right.
Spencer, thank you so much for letting us come out here and visit your family's corn maze. I think there are corn mazes in many parts of South Carolina, and it's wherever there is one, you'd have a good family fun day if you visited.
Right. Thank y'all for coming.